All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to his due to Yahweh, Bahashem Yasha, Bahashem Chakadas. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us truth. Salutations to the sincere brother out there who preaches truth and edifying the brother and sister while studying diligence, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. And salutations to the hopeful elect, scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. And salutations to the few Agwaf who may be listening and learning and are seeking the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yasha. Today, this brother Ayawab come back to you today with a lesson through the Spirit power of Yahweh Hashem Shabbat Chakadas, entitled, it's just a little vaccine update. Just going in on the news on the vaccines, what's going on, and like pretty much all it is. And then bring out like a scripture or so concerning it. So first, I just want to go to Safari, and then bring out this right here. I ain't gonna bring out this video because it's basically just them going in on how the phases work and what they do in each phase. So this was from USA Today 6 hours ago, by Adriana Rodriguez. It says Vladimir Putin. I think it's Putin. Vladimir Putin says Russia had registered a coronavirus vaccine and his daughter has been given it. So they have a vaccine. It says it says Russia has claimed victory in the race for a coronavirus vaccine after it became the first country to officially register one and declare it ready for use Tuesday, which would be today, or either today, because today's Tuesday, today or next Tuesday, because this came out 6 hours ago. It says, despite less than 2 months of human testing and not completing final trials. So they completed it. And I guess you're supposed to have more than 2 months of human testing, and they didn't even complete the final test. It says, President Vladimir Putin emphasized at a government meeting Tuesday that the vaccine developed by the Moscow-based Gamaleya Institute underwent the necessary tests, and even said the vaccine already has been given to one of his daughters. I would like to repeat that it has passed all the necessary tests, he said at the meeting. The most important thing is to ensure full safety of using the vaccine and its efficiency. Putin added that one of his 2 adult daughters had taken part in the experiment and received 2 shots of the vaccine. He said his daughters had a temperature of 100.4 on the day of the first injection, and then it dropped to just over 98.6 degrees the next day. After the second shot, again, she had a slight increase in temperature, he said. It says, Putin said his daughter had a high number of antibodies. He didn't specify which of his 2 daughters, Maria or Katerina, received the vaccine. Russian scientists said they completed phase 2 testing the first week of August and were conducting phase 3 tests at the same time they began to vaccinate medical workers, a tactic that would never be allowed under strict U.S. and European medical safety regulations. It says Deputy Prime Minister Tatyana Golikova said Russia could start vaccinating doctors as early as this month. The health ministry said in Tuesday's statement that the vaccine is expected to provide immunity from the virus for up to 2 years. While Russian authorities have said medical workers, teachers, and other risk groups will be the first to be in inoculated. Putin emphasized that the vaccine will be voluntary. The vaccine will be marketed under the name Sputnik V or Sputnik 5 on foreign markets. Kirill Mertarev, head of Russia's sovereign wealth fund, compared the moment to the Soviet Union's 1957 launch of the world's first satellite, Sputnik 1, according to Reuters. It says Russian officials have said large-scale production of the vaccine will start in September, and mass vaccination may begin as early as October. But the international scientific community is sounding the alarm that the Russians start using the vaccine before completing phase 3 trials, which usually last months and involve thousands of people, could backfire. Not sure what Russia's up to, but I certainly would not take a vaccine that hasn't been tested in phase 3. Florian Kramer, professor of vaccinology at the Department of Microbiology at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai, said on Twitter Tuesday, "Nobody knows if it's safe or if it works." So that's about it on that. So they say they have a vaccine. They registered a vaccine. They do have a vaccine. Some people are saying it may not work. And some people believe it will. They didn't go through all the phases. Regardless, that researcher, whoever from Mount Sinai, said I wouldn't take a test if it hasn't been through phase 3. Shit, I'm not taking it at all. What you mean? What you mean? I'm not taking it at all. But I'm gonna get that, and also get this. So this is from National Geographic's on the little Apple News app. It says this is coronavirus coverage. Fauci seriously doubts the Russian vaccine is ready for widespread use. This was today, 2020. It says concoding, and let's see what that word concoding means. Let's get it right here. Concoding. Prepare, make up. So a symbol. So form. So making a COVID vaccine. So concoding a COVID-19 vaccine is not the same thing as proving a vaccine is safe and effective. The director of National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases tells National Geographic. Now I ain't gonna get all this. Let's see what he says. I'm gonna get this. So this is a little video, and then I'm gonna get I might get I'm gonna get the first two. Paragraphs, and then I'm gonna get a couple more news articles.
Crafting our authentic fragrances begins with ingredients from the earth.
Let's talk about vaccines. Russia has said this week that actually come out with a vaccine.
Slovakia.
Let's talk about vaccines. Russia has said this week that it has actually come out with a vaccine now, that it's going to start actually inoculating people with this. What do you think about that? Do you think they've actually got this vaccine? And how close are we in this country to really having something? And how do we begin to dispense it?
Well, I mean, having a vaccine, Deborah, and proving that a vaccine is safe and effective are two different things. We have half a dozen or more vaccines. So if we wanted to take the chance of hurting a lot of people or giving them something that doesn't work, we could start doing this, next week if we wanted to. But that's not the way it works. So I hope, but I haven't heard any evidence to make me feel that's the case. I hope that the Russians have actually definitively proven that the vaccine is safe and effective. I seriously doubt that they've done that. But that's what I think people need to understand when they hear announcements from the Chinese or from the Russians that we have a vaccine, we're giving a vaccine, and people say, why aren't the Americans doing that? Well, because we have a way of doing things in this country that we care about safety and we care about efficacy.
So see, he's not. He don't think they really have it. But let's just get these. Progress says concoding a vaccine is not the same thing as proving a vaccine is safe and effective. That's Anthony Fauci's take on the news out of Moscow that Russia has approved and is ready to market coronavirus vaccine. Fauci, the director of U.S. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, made the comments as part of a keynote interview for Stopping Pandemics, an exclusive event due to air August 13th via National Geographic. So you see. So we get that, and then two more. This one's short. This is from the Jerusalem Post. Hold on, it's today, August 12th. It says August 12th. Well, it may be that they're ahead. Anyways, this is August 12th, 2020. They living in the future. Said the United States has penned an agreement with drug maker Moderna Inc. to acquire 100 million doses of its potential COVID-19 vaccine. U.S. President Donald Trump said in a press conference. The United States has made several deals to acquire doses of potential COVID-19 vaccines in advance of their approval by regulators, part of its Operation Warp Speed program that aims to deliver a vaccine in the U.S. by the end of the year. And now, so they said Warp Speed is a program to have vaccine by the end of the year, but now Trump is saying that as it says right here, Trump says it's possible U.S. could have a coronavirus vaccine before 2020 election. That's October. And this is from CNBC. This was 5 days ago, August 6th, 2020. It says, key points. Trump, who is seeking re-election, was asked by a conservative personality, by conservative personality Geraldo Rivera whether a vaccine would be ready before November 30 election day. Oh, I think in some cases it's possible before, he said. But right around that time, we have great companies. These are the greatest companies in the world. I can't even understand what he's saying. The president's comments differ from his own public health officials who have repeatedly said a vaccine could be ready at the end of the year or early 2021. It says President Donald Trump said it's possible the U.S. could have a safe and effective vaccine for the coronavirus before the upcoming presidential election. Trump, who is seeking re-election, was asked during an interview Thursday with conservative TV personality Geraldo Rivera whether a vaccine would be ready before November 30 election day. Oh, I think in some cases it's possible before, he said, but right around that time. We have great companies. These are the greatest companies in the world. Right at again. It says, on Monday, Trump said the U.S. may have a coronavirus vaccine available to the public far in advance of the administration's goal of the end of the year or early 2021. And then, you can read. Oh, here, I get this one. It says, health officials say there is no returning to normal until there is a vaccine against the virus, which has infected more than 18 million people worldwide and killed at least 708,301 as of Thursday, according to data compiled with Johns Hopkins University. And I was watching Elder Menazakba's lesson like 30 minutes ago, and it was you should go watch this, about almost an hour long live lesson, and it was entitled, "When Has America Ever Been Normal?" So America has never been normal, man. They America's never been normal. How can they return to normal when they've never been normal? And you should go check out that. I ain't going, say nothing, but that's just what it was. Basically, going in on, like, America's backwards, and this whole kingdom is backwards. It's upside down. And then it goes in, but that's about it on that. And then also, as I was looking that up, this was CNN yesterday. It says Moderna's clinical trial numbers show there is no way Trump can have a vaccine by Election Day. And I ain't going to go in on it. I don't want to make this lesson longer than it should be. You know what? I'm going to watch it. See how long it is first.
I'm David Culver in Wuhan, China.
In Yokohama, Japan. CNN in Abu Dhabi.
I'm Nermal Bagher in Sinjar, Iraq.
Northern Syria, Lagos, Nigeria.
Stockholm.
Outside London.
CNN, Sao Paulo, Brazil.
In Mexico City.
This is CNN.
Good morning.
2 minutes. Okay, we can watch it, but I ain't gonna read any of the. So watch this and get a scripture or so.
John, President Trump said last week that he is, quote, Good morning, John. President Trump said last week that he is, quote, optimistic that a vaccine will be ready for the American public by November 3rd. But when you take a look at that number you just mentioned and you take a look at the calendar, experts tell us that is just not going to happen. So let's take a look at those numbers and those dates. As you mentioned, from July 27th through August 7th, 4,536 participants received their first shot in the Moderna trial. The Moderna's the first one out of the gate. They need 30,000. So they expect to get their first shots done for all 30,000 sometime in September, but then they have to give them a second dose 28 days later. Now, John, there's no question, but the Moderna is going to ramp up the rate at which they are giving people shots and enrolling them in this study. They already have ramped up more than they were at the beginning. But even if they do finish sometime in September, you then have to wait 28 days to give the second shot. You then have to wait about 2 weeks for those shots to become fully effective. You then have to wait for the participants to sort of run into the virus in their daily life. And that's where experts say there is no way that we're going to get the data that we need by November 3rd. Now, a note here, Pfizer started just after Moderna did. They started their clinical trials just after Moderna, and they say they have a much more ambitious timeline. They say they think they're basically going to be done sometime in October and ready to go to the FDA for consideration. But the experts I talked to said that timeline is just completely unrealistic. John?
Just to reiterate that, so Moderna, slow, the 4,500 participants. Other studies further along?
You know, Pfizer has said that they've done more than 2,000, but that was a couple of days ago. So Moderna started first. Pfizer started just after Moderna. It does not appear that Pfizer is ahead of Moderna. So it appears that sort of this is where we are. Pfizer says more than 2,000. Moderna says about 4,500.
No slacking. So concerning America going back to normal. There is no normal, and even if you want to say there is a normal, there was a normal, it's not gonna be normal, man. It's gonna be a different normal. And it's gone, man. Isaiah 24, verse 11. There is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. Mirth meaning joy, happiness. So they crying for normal. They crying for things to go back normal. But the mirth is gone, man. The mirth is gone. Revelation 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he know that he had but a short time. Man, we almost there, Akim. We almost there, brothers, sisters. We are almost there. Romans 13:11. They coming down, man. They coming down. They ain't even completing all the phases. They ain't even completing all the trials before they bringing out the vaccine, before they putting the vaccine out there, man. They know they have a short time. They gotta do what they can. Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed. It's right there, man. We right there. The door is starting to creep open, man. And the next is going to be the famine of the word, man. Once they make these vaccines mandatory, it's going to be here by the end of this year or early next year, man. We're going to have the vaccine, man. That's 6 months away. 6 months is January, I believe. That's all we got until that vaccine is. I say by then, we'll have a vaccine. Then they may make it voluntary first, but then they're gonna make it mandatory, man. Then you think you're gonna be able to walk around if you don't have that vaccine? You think you're gonna be able to do what you want when you have that vaccine? What's that? Most ace like you. Think you're gonna be able to do what you want? No, you think you're gonna be able to? You think we're gonna be able to go out and preach the word, man? While we not taking the vaccine, they're not gonna let it. You're not gonna be able to do what you want, so we ain't gonna be on the streets, man. Amos 8 verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh Shem shall power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord, and shall not find it. So we're not gonna be on the streets, man, preaching the word. That's when that famine of the word comes. And then Jacob's trouble. After Jacob's trouble, or during Jacob's, I don't know when, but you got the mark of the beast, man. And then what's after that, man? World War III. What's during World War III, man? Our redemption, our salvation, man. We are almost there. How long? I don't know, but through the Spirit, we know it's right here. We at the door. So just keep pushing, stay strong, keep doing the things you need to please the Lord. Call Halayim Law, Yahweh Hashem, Shabbat Shachakadas. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us truth. Shalom to the sincere brother out there who preaches truth, edifying the brothers by shining diligence, and presenting their body as a living sacrifice. Shalom to the hopeful elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to few Agua who may be listening, who may have listened, and who may have watched and are seeking the Lord diligently. Shalom, Kwame Yashala. Shlaki, and like I say, Barakatah Yahweh Shem Shai for putting the Spirit on me. Shlaki, Barakatah Yahweh Shem Shai Bashar for putting the Spirit on me to do this lesson. Lord, with edifying the Spirit to back to the fold, to show you that we right there, man. Vaccine is right there, literally. Shalom, Kwame Yashala, and a Baba Bo.